Hello, BCom students, and welcome to video 3 of the 5-part series on interview secrets. We're going to be talking about what to bring to an interview and how to answer the money question and how to close out an interview. We got a lot to cover. Let's jump into it. When you prepare for your interview and you're putting your 3 hours in or more of practice, 30 minutes or so of that 3 hours, I want you to do some in-depth understanding of the company that you're going to be interviewing. So I want you to go to their web page and I want you to find their logo. I want you to right click it. I want you to put it in a Word document, paste it in there, blow it up a little bit, print it out on a color printer, and then I want you to put it in a binder. I want you to put together a binder that will have, as you open it up, you'll have 3 or 4 copies of your resume in one of this first holder here. And the first thing that I want to see when you open your binder up is 3 or 4 pages of company information, whether it's the biggest product that we have or just the splash page of the web page. But what I want to see is that you put some time and effort into learning more about the company. I also want you to look at and find out what the stock trades for, as much information you can about the company. Who's the president, who's maybe the director, board of directors, things like that. Do you have to memorize all this stuff? No. Maybe you might want to write it down and put it in your binder. It's not a bad idea. You need to find out as much as you can about the company. So if I ask you a question, so what do you think about our fantastic #1 product? You should be able to answer that. You also want to bring water to your interview, so bring a bottle of water. And the reason is water is a great prop. If I ask you a question you don't know, you're going to say something like that. That's a great question. Gotta wet my whistle. You just gave yourself a couple of seconds to think of the answer, and you're going to be doing all the talking, so you're going to get dry mouth. So bring water. I might forget to ask. We might not have it, whatever. Just bring some water. You're going to take some notes about the interesting things that I say during the interview. So in your binder, you're going to have a couple of loose leaf notebook pieces of notebook paper. If I say, well, this is my daughter Lauren, and she's in Boston. She just had my first grandchild, Mill. And this is my daughter Kelsey. She's down in Austin getting her master's in poli-sci. Probably want to write that down, and in your thank you email, say something to the tune of, "Hey, I appreciate you showing me the pictures of your daughters. Really excited that you've got a granddaughter, Milana, and I hope Lauren's doing well in Boston, and Kelsey's doing well down in Austin in her master's program." It doesn't hurt. So write that stuff down. If I tell you that the stock is trading for $1 million and it's going to go to 2 million, you might write that down. Who knows? But make sure that you also give feedback during the interview by nodding your head. That don't look like a bobble doll, but if I want you to give positive feedback. So nod your head, and smiling goes a long way. So do that too. I'm amazed at how many people sit there across me and do this while I'm interviewing them. They almost never get a job offer. Why? Because that's stupid. Don't do that. So lean into the conversation, smile, uh, nod your head occasionally. Let me know that when I'm talking, you're listening to me. Take notes. Makes me feel important when you take notes about what I say. That's just a smart human interaction. Okay, again, we're going to talk about the elevator pitch. When I say, "Tell me about yourself. Why are you here? Why do you want to work here? Why should we hire you?" Hey, here's your chance to really sell yourself, and that's the time to do it. When we have our interviews, I'll ask you. The first thing I'll say is, "Tell me about yourself," and that's your chance to say something to the tune of, let's say that I'm interviewing for the dean position at the Cox School of Business at SMU, and the big man, the president of SMU, says, "Hey, why are you here?" I'm going to say something to the tune of, "I believe that the graduates of the Cox School of Business should be great communicators, because I know that great communicators rise to the top of every organization. So that's one of the things I'm really going to focus on. Every one of our classes is going to have some communication component. Working together is going to be a part of our curriculum. I want to find the best instructors from around the world, whether they come in and they are full-time instructors or part-time instructors that we get from other programs to help our students be the best they can be in specific things. Blah, 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 yada, yada. That wasn't as good as it usually is, but you get the idea. I'm telling you the reasons that I'm there and what I see as the future for my job. And that's a pretty big job, but what if you're a dishwasher? You know what? It's okay to say, the dishes are going to be the cleanest they've ever been. I understand that you got to scrub every one before you put them in the dishwasher. Whatever. Okay. One of the things that a lot of people mess up is the salary question. And so for the rest of your life, when I ask you, what do you want to make? You're going to say these things. During the interview, I'm going to say, hey, what do you want to make? And you're going to say, what's the salary range for this position? That's very easy to understand, and it's very correct. And that's good. So what's the salary range for the position? Well, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to say, well, you know what? It all depends upon your abilities and experience. What would you like to make? The second thing you're going to say is, well, we've been talking about my abilities and experience. What's the salary range for me? Now, did you catch that little ninja mind trick? What's the salary range for me? And I want you to say, for me. The reason is because the other yutzes that I've interviewed, I don't think I'd make them a job offer, or it'd be very small at the bottom of the range. But you, since you're prepared, I like you, I'm probably going to bump the range up a little bit. So I would say, oh, it's 45 to 55, even though for everybody else, it's 40 to 50. I don't know. But that little ninja mind trick is important. Now, don't start off with that. The first time I say, hey, what do you make? It's what's the salary range for the position. Do not do what everybody else does in this position. They go, let's see, I make 30,000 now. I don't want to go anywhere else for less than 10%. So that's 33. I'll ask for 34. Because guess what you've just done? You have given me a number that I can use against you or for you. If it's too high, I'm going to use it against you. If it's too low, guess what? I'm going to bump it up a little bit. But that might be actually lower than what I would give you if you kept your mouth shut. So remember, when someone asks you about money in a job interview, the first person to give a number is the loser. And you're not a loser. You're good looking, smart, and people like you. So don't ever give a number during an interview for salary. The first thing you're going to say is, what's the salary range? Second thing you're going to say is, hey, we've been talking about my abilities and experience. What's the salary range for me? Now, here's your get out of free jail card. If I keep on asking you about salary, and I say, well, you know what? Well, what did you make last year? That's a terrible question, because I don't think it's anybody's business what I made last year. It's not anybody's business what I made at all. I can't believe that there's still those questions in job applications. What did you make last year? None of your business. But here's how you're going to answer that question, because I will ask it during our interview. You're going to say, Mr. Park, are you offering me the position? Now, the reason you're going to do that is because there are only a couple of reasons why I ask you about salary. One, it's the most important thing in the whole wide world. I don't know if I can get you for cheap or you're out of the ballpark. And that's the reason why you don't want to answer it. Two, I like you and I want to make sure that I can afford you. Okay, that's fine, but it's not your job to give me what I'd hire you for. It's my job. So when I ask you about money, the third time you're going to say, Mr. Parker, you offer me a job. You'll be amazed at how many times, because I want to hire you anyway, when you ask that, you get a, yeah, we do like you. We'd like to hire you. How does X sound? And then you've got to be able to step back a little bit and remember that if it's not in writing, it's not real. So you're going to have to say something to the tune of, hey, that's a great place to start. When can I expect your written job offer? Now, that might pull out a piece of paper and start writing stuff right then. They'll probably say, hey, look, we like you. We're gonna make you a job offer. We'll get it to you in the next 24 hours. Excellent. If they say that they're going to hire you, then you shut up, You put your hand out and say, great, I look forward to the job offer. Thanks again. Get up and get out before they change their mind. So if you've won the battle, don't keep on throwing rocks and stones, man. Just get up and get out. All right. The last thing that I want you to make sure that you do is close properly. And I call it the STAR method because there's 5 points, but it has nothing to do with the STAR method from in the book about how do you answer questions, situation, and whatever the heck it is, which I think is good. That's a good thing to do. But I want you to close using this 5-point method, and you've probably already seen this and done this in your presentation video. But the closing is real quick. Thank you. I want to let you know that I will work well with you. I want you to know that I'll be a team player. I want to move up in the company. I really want this job. Can I have the job? I'd love to start tomorrow, Monday, as soon as possible, after 2 weeks' notice, whatever. So 5 points. It's thank you. I'm gonna be a good employee. I work well with others. I want to move up in the company. Thank you. Can I have the job? I'd love to start as soon as possible. Now, everybody does usually a pretty good job until that last thing. Can I have the job? For some weird reason, people can't say, can I have the job? You are going to say, can I have the job? And when we have our interview, if you don't do it, I'm going to make you do it until you say it. Here's the reason why. When I say, can I have the job? It makes the interviewer either put you in that position, and you're going to be able to see in their eyes, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, well, no, we got more people to interview, but I like that you asked for the job. We'll get back to you. 10% of the time, you're going to get this. Yes, we want to hire you. We'll get back to you in the next 24 hours. We think you're the right candidate. So you're never going to get that, yeah, we like you, want to hire you, or even an inkling if they want to hire you, unless you ask the question. So here's what's going to sound like. Okay, I appreciate you coming in. Do you have any questions before I let you go? That's me, the interviewer, talking to you, to the interviewee. You're going to say, no, I don't have any questions, but I want you to know that I really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you. Thank you. I want to let you know that I'll be a great employee. You and I are going to work well together. I also will let you know that I work well in a group like we've talked about, and I've met some of those people. You don't have to worry about me. I can work well in a group. This is one of the biggest problems that managers face, and one of the biggest questions they have during an interview. Can we trust you? Can we like you? Are you going to work well with us? So go ahead, and even if you've talked about it before, reiterate it. 4, I really want to move up in Parkco. You want to name the company. I know that this is a great position, and I look forward to moving up with the company and learning about the company. That's 4. Now 5, I really want this job. Can I have the job? I'd love to start on Monday. And then smile, okay? But I want you to say, can I have the job? Take a little pause, a little for a dramatic effect. I'd love to start on Monday. And you're going to get some kind of feedback right there, and that's the key. All right, we're a little bit over 10 minutes, but I think this has been a great video. Remember, bring a binder. Put stuff in that binder you're going to need. Make sure that you bring some water. Make sure that you understand that the first person who gives a number during an interview is the loser. You're not going to do that. From now on, you're not going to give a number. You're going to ask, what's the salary range for the position? And lastly, at the end of the interview, when I say, okay, that's it, do you have any questions? You're gonna end with the 5-point STAR method, which is thank you. I'm gonna be a great employee. I work well with others. I want to move up in the company and be a part of the company for a long time. Can I have the job? Okay, good job. Now go do your test.